Welcome back. We are continuing our coverage of that rare and deadly outbreak of tornadoes across 4 states, from Arkansas all the way up into Indiana. Last night, lots of people dead. They're still finding victims amongst the rubble there. Just terrible, terrible situation.
Yeah, those images are just astounding, and there are a lot of questions coming in. So we want to ask our Sarah Spivey, who we've been talking to all night about this. So is this a normal time of year for tornadoes, just especially of this magnitude?
Well, you know, Tim and Courtney, it is actually common for there to be tornadoes in December. That is, in and of itself, is not uncommon. What is uncommon is to see strong or violent tornadoes, EF3 or greater, up to EF5 in December. And the reason for that is you need a lot of warmth and a lot of humidity contrasting with the drier air to produce those violent and strong tornadoes. And in December, you just don't get a lot of that warmth and humidity. Of course, climate trends are showing that we're seeing more and more humid and warm weather into December. So it is very rare to see these very large and intense tornadoes in December. And as you can see by the damage there, you know, the National Weather Service has been able to say so far that there were likely 3 EF3 tornadoes, but we could even see that number go up to an EF4 or EF5. EF5 would be greater than 200-mile-per-hour winds, Tim.
Yeah, and I've seen that firsthand. You have as well, the aftermath of Moore, Oklahoma tornado several years ago, as one of the situations you could stand there and just look 360 degrees around, and as far as you could see, there's just nothing left standing.
Absolutely.
And that seems to be the pictures we're seeing there tonight. How unprecedented is the size and intensity of this string of tornadoes?
Well, I wanted to talk about that in particular, especially the path of a potential tornado. Now, the National Weather Service has to go out there to determine if this was one continuously long tornado, but if it was, it could be potentially the longest track tornado on record ever. We're talking about ever. So these are the states that, as you can see, were affected by severe weather last night into early this morning. And there was one area through Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee that could have been impacted by just one single very violent tornado. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weather maps here. I want to show you this system and where it's at right now. You can see on our weather maps that the cold front that brought us the nice weather here in San Antonio is currently working its way toward the Atlantic, and there is still some severe weather associated with this. But this is a look at the tornado reports over the last 48 hours. 22 reported tornadoes from this one system. And as Tim was mentioning, this could be unprecedented. If the National Weather Service determines that one single tornado moved from Monette, Arkansas, all the way up to Central City, Kentucky, that would be 250-mile track of a tornado that could be miles wide. That would be the longest tornado ever on record. So again, devastating night, especially considering that there are estimates now of over 70 people dead. That would be the deadliest tornado outbreak since 2011, so in a decade. And that tornado that they were talking about earlier in Moore, Oklahoma, that was the last EF5 tornado in 2013. So looking at temperatures right now behind this front, it is cold across the state of Texas. We're dealing with the quiet part of that system, and temperatures have been all over the place. The high today was actually right after midnight, and since then we've been seeing temperatures fall. In fact, our low is occurring right now as temperatures are in the 40s. We had seen a wind gust of up to 47 miles per hour at the airport that brought in some much drier air from the north. Now winds are calm winds and clear skies. That is a recipe to see the temperature fall, and that's exactly what's happening right now. It is already freezing in Kerrville, and as you can see, it's 41 in Hondo. It's warmer here in San Antonio, but still cold. It's 45 degrees. The reason for that is because we've got a little bit of those high thin cirrus clouds in place acting as a thin blanket, but thin being the key word there. That's going to clear out, and we're going to see temperatures tumble. There is a freeze warning for areas across the hill country all the way up to Austin from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I think it's entirely possible in Bexar County north of 1604 and west of 1604 for us to see a light freeze by the start of the morning tomorrow. Here's a look at forecast forecast lows tomorrow morning: 32 in Hondo, 32 in Uvalde, 29 in Kerrville, and 31 in Rock Springs. You still have time to cover that sensitive vegetation outside, especially again if you're north of 1604 or west of 1604. I think around the downtown area we'll just miss freezing, but still a cold start to the day tomorrow. 34 degrees for the morning tomorrow, potentially down to 29 up in Bernie. Now, also a friendly reminder that pets need a warm place to stay tonight as well. Sunny skies tomorrow. We'll be looking at high temperature of 62, so that cold weather, it'll be chilly all day long, but that cold weather will be short-lived. East-northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead to the forecast, it'll be cool on Monday, but we'll see increasing clouds and increasing humidity. Much of next week is going to feature morning fog and drizzle, warm afternoons near 80. So just as we cool down, we warm back up, and guess what? Strong cold front again next Saturday. Tim, Courtney.
The roller coaster continues.
It does.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, Greg, Spurs back home tonight, looking to make it back-to-back wins against the Nuggets.
Well, it's hard to beat any team in the NBA twice in a row, and they had their opportunity to do that tonight. But Denver, remember, rested in San Antonio, had a nice day off in a very long road trip, 7 games. They've been away from home 14 days, so they made the Spurs pay. We'll show you what happened. And the Cowboys have arrived in D.C. for their big game against the Washington football team. Coming up. No time getting to work as he knocks down his first shot, a 3 from the wing. A little later, the catch and shoot 3 from the left wing keeps the Spurs within 5. Late first quarter now. How about Devin Vassell from top of the arc puts the Spurs on top with his 3, and they lead by 1 going into the second. Nuggets jump out to a 13-point lead when Johnson nails another, his third 3 of the game. He was 5 for 5 from the field in the first half, but Denver dropped 44 points in the second quarter on the Spurs. Monty Morris hits his 3 from the parking lot at the buzzer, and the Spurs are down at halftime by 16 points. The Nuggets came out on fire to start the third quarter. Nikola Jokic connects on the 3 ball. Denver up 23. Then look at the ball movement. Jokic to Aaron Gordon. Back to Jokic for the slam, and it's a 20-0 run. Denver will go up 30, and Pop empties the bench 4 minutes into the third quarter. Denver would lead by 29 going to the fourth. The second group giving first-class effort. Bryn Forbes from behind the arc, and the Spurs are on a 13-0 run. Forbes in the paint getting blocked by Keita Bates-Diop is there for the putback. Then look at the footwork from Thaddeus Young for the bucket. The Spurs are on a 16-0 run. Got the Nuggets lead to 14, but Denver just too much tonight. They win at 127 to 112.
Well, I think Denver set a good example of how you react after a loss. And we did the opposite. We showed how you do not want to react after a win. So they handled the loss well. We didn't handle the win very well at all.
Don't have much time to complain about it because they go back at it tomorrow, hosting New Orleans at 6 p.m.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys arrive for their first game this season against their arch rival, the Washington football team. KSAT 12 Sports is there as the Cowboys arrive at their D.C. hotel. Headquarters tonight, led by head coach Mike McCarthy, who made a bold prediction this week upon returning from being sidelined with COVID-19 that we will win this game. Now it'll be up to the Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott, running back Ezekiel Elliott, their teammates to back that comment up with their play against the division rivals. With more, here's our Larry Ramirez in our nation's capital.
Thank you very much, Greg, and good evening, everybody. We are coming to you from outside the Dallas Cowboys team hotel, where they got in around 7 p.m. local time. Earlier this week, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy created quite the buzz when he said, we're going to win this game. He's talking about his team beating the Washington football team. Well, the Cowboys, they understand why coach said that, but Washington head football coach Ron Rivera doesn't quite understand it.
Yeah, I feel like everybody knows the importance of this game. Everybody knows the importance of the situation. And that's always the mindset every week for us to win. So I wouldn't expect him to say we're going to lose. So, we always expect, the best. We go out there, put our best before, but we know what type of game it's going to be. It's a division game, so we got to bring our stuff.
Well, I don't put a lot of volume because it's interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't line up and play. It's the players. So as far as I'm concerned, I just try to stay out of that portion of it and just make sure everybody knows how interesting it is, and just the fact that you'll show up and you'll play on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you never know until the game's done. So we'll just show up, we'll play football, we'll play hard and see how things go.
You can say it about every team that we play, that we're going to win. It's just our job. We got to go out there and go do it. So I got all the confidence in these guys and, what we're capable of. So we're going to see.
Coach Rivera also said that he feels McCarthy saying that is a big mistake. We will find out more tomorrow. Greg? Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. The Dallas Cowboys have activated defensive end Randy Gregory, defensive tackle Neville Gallimore for Sunday's game against the Washington football team. Gregory's been dealing with a calf strain that has had him sidelined for a month, while Gallimore has been sidelined the entire regular season so far after he suffered a dislocated elbow in the preseason. Cowboys also elevated running back Jaquan Hardy from the practice squad as insurance for Tony Pollard, who's a game-time decision after suffering a torn plantar fascia in the game against the Saints and has been unable to practice. Who wins the Heisman Trophy? Got that for you in just a few minutes.
We'll see you in a bit, Greg. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. COVID cases are surging right now across the country, pushing some hospitals to their limits.
30 states and Washington, D.C. seeing an increase of about 10% or more in hospitalizations just over the past week. The Midwest and Northeast seeing the greatest jump in cases as the weather gets colder and people head indoors. 19 states have an ICU capacity of 15% or less. And now more than half the country is reporting cases of the new Omicron variant.
However, it's still only accounting for 0.1% of all new cases, but in the UK, Omicron is expected to become the dominant variant by the middle of this month.
I don't suspect we'll be on the same time horizon as UK, and we're continuing to follow cases and we'll look at that carefully.
Of the 43 known U.S. cases, only one hospitalization, and many patients are reporting mild symptoms. Early data shows COVID-19 booster shots help to bolster protection against the Omicron variant.
People in the state of Kansas saying their final goodbyes to Bob Dole as part of his memorial service. Earlier today, visitors got to pay their respects in Russell, which is where Dole grew up during the Great Depression. By the afternoon, his body was moved to the state capitol in Topeka. Dole died last Sunday at the age of 98. He served nearly 36 years in Congress, running as the GOP nominee for president in 1966.
Take a look at other stories making headlines tonight. Now to that historic Blue Origin flight. ABC's Michael Strahan and crew blasting off into space along with 5 other people earlier today. ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us more about how they prepped for the trip and why they say it fell so short.
Donning his Blue Origin hat and sporting a fresh set of wings, Michael Strahan returning to Earth and recapping his epic Blue Origin spaceflight, tweeting touchdown has a new meaning.
It was surreal, however you want to spell that, but it was unbelievable. It's hard to even describe it.
At maximum speeds of 2,244 miles per hour, the GMA anchor and NFL great rocketing to the edge of space alongside 5 others, including the daughter of Alan Shepard, the first American in space and the spacecraft's namesake. The team experiencing 3 minutes of zero gravity, marveling at the thrill of weightlessness. Their audio captured from inside the capsule. After reaching 66 miles above the Earth's surface, the team parachuting back down and welcomed with a roar of celebrations. Oh my God! Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos coming out to greet the crew, and one by one, Michael hugging all of his loved ones. This mission took roughly 3.5 days to prepare for. Michael and crew underwent hours of training and simulations, Michael explaining that rigorous readiness operation.
Learning how to buckle up in 0G, learning how to get in your seat in the first place. Sure. Learning the access control panel, the crew control panel, hearing the sounds that you're going to hear.
It was time to test their knowledge Saturday morning, flawlessly executing all they learned as they successfully completed the launch.
You see the curvature, the atmosphere, blue, the earth. Just, it was too short.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Van Horn, Texas.
Heck of a way to spend a Saturday. All right, the song title is simple, Beer, Beer, Truck, Truck, but it means much more to this Austin native country star. What's happened so far after TikTok fame turned into a country career?
The power of social media can be life-changing, and no one knows that more than one Austin native, rising country music star.
In this case, it's for the good. He turned a TikTok response video into a top-charting song. It's a story we first told you on SA Live. Now producer Alexis Page checks back in with George Burge months later to find out what's happened since then.
June 18th, 2021 is the day life for George Burge would never be the same.
It ain't all be
BB truck, girls in them tight jeans.
But let's quickly backtrack. The country artist had a calling for music pretty much his whole life while growing up in Austin.
I've been playing 6th Street since I was probably 14 years old with X's on my hands.
Music is something he couldn't get away from.
Being a live music capital of the world, it's a pretty special place to grow up just because there's music everywhere.
So let's jump ahead. The inspiration for the song Beer, Beer, Truck, Truck came from social media influencer Erin Chambers. She posted a joke video about country songs on TikTok.
Beer, beer, truck, truck, girls in tight jeans.
George responded, and their fates aligned.
It ain't all BB truck, trucks, girls in them tight jeans.
It feels pretty amazing just to see how the internet can kind of come together like that. It's been an entirely positive experience in terms of like all of my interactions with George have been great, and he, was always very upfront about giving me credit.
I think that there was just a lot for people to connect to in that song, and as a songwriter, I felt super flattered to be getting all these comments of people telling me how they put the story into their own lives.
Go baby, spread your wings.
Now let's skip to what has followed after the song's release. George made a guest appearance on the Bobby Bones Country Radio Show in late June.
Then has it been weird to watch the thing go viral?
Was on NPR All Things Considered in August. Featured on a song alongside rapper Nelly, also in August. Appeared on the tour of artists like Jake Owen and Brantley Gilbert. And co-wrote songs on Clay Walker's latest album, which released in June.
What's up, y'all? I've got some incredible news.
In fact, Clay actually was the one to convince George to join TikTok. He says, quote, George is the real deal, and he's an incredible singer and songwriter, the complete package, end quote.
It is no exaggeration to say that the song has been completely life-changing for me.
Fast forwarding to now, nearly 6 months later, Mind on You is his newest single, available now anywhere you stream.
I got my mind on you and you on my mind.
He's finishing up on tour and putting the final touches on his EP. George hopes this TikTok fame is the start to a long-lasting career.
Country music is my passion. It's what I love to do. And so as far as I can take it, that's how far I want to go.
Alexis Page, KSAT 12 News.
80 degrees, couple days later, freezing. It sounds about right.
It was incredibly gross out there yesterday.
Oh man, it was so gross. I went for a run in the morning hours.
Oh, poor girl.
So humid. But you know what? This morning, if you went for a run, you were dealing with the winds. Winds gust up to 45 miles per hour around San Antonio earlier this morning. That brought in some much cooler air. And now we're sitting in the 30s and 40s. Take a look outside right now. What was that?
Outdoor furniture got tossed around.
Oh yeah, a lot of people
are
fishing their outdoor furniture or their Christmas decorations.
I had to do that today.
Mine were in the pool.
I feel for you guys.
My angel took flight, and so did my tree, and not in a good way.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes, thankfully though those winds have died down now, but what we're looking at is a recipe for cold weather in the morning. Clear skies are clearing, and winds are calming, and that allows all the heat to escape from the ground back up out into space, and that's why we're seeing temperatures already below freezing up in the hill country. It's 31 in Kerrville and 32 in Comfort, 4 degrees off of freezing at Bernie Stage Airfield. Now notice how it's quite a bit warmer around San Antonio. It's still cold, but it's 45 at the airport and even 50 at Stinson. Now we still do have some cirrus clouds across parts of central and southern Bexar County, but those are going to clear throughout the evening, and so temperatures will fall a little bit more rapidly into the late night hours here. 39 in Rock Springs, 40 in Uvalde, and 48 in Del Rio. Again, that cold front brought in some much drier air. Dew points today have been in the teens, 20s, and 30s. That is chapstick weather. That is very dry air, when you compare this to this time yesterday, it was humid last night. Dew points have fallen about 40 degrees in many places because of that potent cold front. And so by tomorrow morning, there are going to be freezes out there, especially north of Loop 1604 into the hill country and west of 1604. I think we could touch freezing in Uvalde and in Hondo as well. 29 for the morning low in Kerrville. Let's go ahead and zoom in closer to the metro area, close close to freezing in New Braunfels and Seguin, it probably is a good idea if you live north of 1604 to cover up any sensitive vegetation. The freeze will be a light freeze, but a freeze nonetheless. Likely a morning low in the Leon Springs Rim area right around 31, as low as 29 in Bernie. Elsewhere, mid-30s are a good bet in southern Bexar County. So because we are expecting to see a freeze, there is a freeze warning for all of these counties in light blue here from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. As soon as we see the sun rise tomorrow, temperatures are going to rise with it. But just a reminder that even though Bexar County is not in that freeze warning, I do still think we're going to get some light freezes north of 1604 there. So again, for your Sunday, a beautiful day after that cold start. Tons of sunshine. As soon as the sun rises at 7:19, temperatures are going to warm up really quickly. It'll be chilly though still. We'll still be in the 50s by noon, and in the afternoon right around 62 for the high. East-northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I just showed you how bone dry it is out there with dew points in the 20s, but take a look at what happens. By Monday, dew points will be in the 50s. By Tuesday, we'll be back to muggy weather through the remainder of the week. That means morning fog and drizzle Tuesday through Friday. But keep in mind, it's December, so we get more cold fronts, and I think we're going to get a fairly strong, potent cold front by the weekend, especially by Saturday. That could actually set up a Christmassy start to Christmas week. Something to keep in mind.
Oh, look at that silver lining. Thank you, Sarah.
Something to look forward to. All right, Greg, we now know who this year's Heisman winner is.
That's right. And it happened tonight. Not a big surprise at all because of what he's been able to accomplish to getting, well, we'll give you a hint, Alabama back at #1 as far as the college football playoff is concerned. And the fourth time is a charm when it comes to Fall City and Mart. Coming up.
The winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is Bryce Young.
No surprise tonight, the overwhelming favorite takes home the Heisman in big board sports. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young was declared the winner of the Heisman Trophy tonight, college football's most prestigious award. Heading into the 87th ceremony, Young was the overwhelming favorite among the 4 finalists that were invited to New York, including Michigan defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett, and Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud. The reason why Young emerged as such a heavy favorite was his performance in the SEC championship game, in which he set a record with 461 yards, 421 of those in the air, and the 41-24 win over Georgia to propel the Crimson Tide at the top of the college football playoff rankings. Young finished with over 4,300 yards and 43 touchdowns, leading Bama to a 12-1 record with their only loss to Texas A&M.
You know, being an African-American quarterback and, being, quote-unquote undersized and not being that prototype, I've always been ruled out and counted out. And people a lot of times have told me that, I wasn't going to be able to make it. And for me, it's always been about, not really proving them wrong, but proving to myself what I can accomplish.
Congratulations indeed. The Battling Beavers of Fall City have returned to the state championship game, where they will face Stratford this Thursday at 11 a.m. in the Cowboys AT&T Stadium with a shot at the 2A Division II title and their first state championship since 2010. That's after they were able to come from behind and knock off Mart after being eliminated by the Panthers the last 3 years. The Beavers were down 10-3 at halftime until they started their comeback in the second half following the Mart fumble. Grant Gendrish scored from 3 yards out to tie the game at 10-all. And under a minute to go in the fourth quarter, Beavers are down 20-17 when Luke Schaefer hits Grant Gendrish right up the seam for the 18-yard touchdown, 24-20 lead with 39 seconds to play. The Panthers would have a final shot. They're hoping for a miracle, but it gets picked up by Wesley Molina to seal the comeback. Fall City ends Mart's dominance and gets to go to the state championship game.
365 days ago, we played this team called Mart, and they handed it to us. They've been handing it to us for 3 years in a row, and we were tired of it. So we came out here, we played physical, and we got the win.
Our kids just hung in it and never got discouraged. I mean, that's who we are. And just like the last drive, we didn't go crazy there. We stuck with what we do, put a drive together there, and got a win.
All right, congratulations. There are 3 title fights coming to the AT&T Center next weekend. It's going to be a showdown, and it's shown exclusively, by the way, on DAZN. The main event will feature Mexico's Gilberto Ramirez facing Cuban-born boxer Yunitsky Gonzalez in a 12-round WBA light heavyweight title eliminator. We caught up with Zurdo Ramirez on Friday before he and his team flies to San Antonio on Tuesday.
Really happy for this fight, and I'm so glad that it's almost time to be there. and I can't wait because I've been waiting this opportunity for a championship belt, but I know that this is a eliminator title belt, and I need to pass through this guy, and then I want to get the belt.
This is not Zurdo's first time fighting in Texas. He once, twice in Corpus Christi, by the way, and once in the Alamodome back in 2014. You can read much more about the fights right now on Instant Replay page at KSAT.com. Here is the fight info. There are still tickets available, and they're available at Ticketmaster.com for that fight Saturday, December 18th in the AT&T Center. And they're exercising a lot of outside the box thinking at the AT&T Center now, where they rely on not just basketball anymore. They're booking different events, including boxing.
Let's get ready to rumble. Thank you.
We'll be right back.